Hey guys, welcome to day 4 of the Go Mango Toku Week. I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
the Cinder Blaze.
Alex, welcome back. Today, we will be covering the entire series of Kyoryuger Brave. Alex, you just came off of watching it. What did you think?
These episodes were like half episodes, I guess. So we didn't really get to cover much in each episode, but with every episode, I feel like it was a pretty solid Sentai. You know, it wasn't like awful. It didn't have like the potential to really be anything beyond that, though.
Okay.
But
yeah, no. I do agree to a point. I just felt it was a bit middle of the road. You know, it wasn't spectacular. It didn't do anything like incredible, but it didn't offend me. Oh no, it kind of offended me.
Yeah, because like we were both kind of like big fans of Kyoryuger, so
yeah.
Like with that name being attached to this, we're just like, you know, we're kind of hesitant to kind of give that title over to this series.
Yeah.
And
I don't think they deserved it, but they do deserve the title of a Sentai at least.
Yeah, definitely. Like the first couple of episodes are pretty rocky because, you know, the actors really weren't really pulling their weight all too much, but they do, I mean, like, these over guys, the course of the series. So
these guys aren't all exactly actors, I think. My friend told me that they are, they're mainly singers of different boy groups or a girl group. So, you know, for their first outing, not bad.
Yeah.
And especially since, you know, they were dubbed over. I was kind of annoyed with Green's voice at points.
Really?
Just because, like, it hammed up the, it made him sound more like a cartoon rather than an actual person.
Well, his face kind of pissed me off, so I don't really think anything would have really helped that. So do we just want to, like, jump into each of the characters? Just because I feel like that would be, like, the easiest way to just, like, jump into the plot right afterwards, because there wasn't really much plot.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Well,
I did kind of want to talk about this as a sequel.
Oh,
like
its place in the Kyoryuger timeline,
yeah,
so to speak.
Yeah, I don't know what's heavier. What should go first?
I feel like this is a sequel because.
Is it?
Yeah, because
I have some opinions.
I feel like Torn was kind of like parking the Bragigas Zord, and he ended up in Korea, and there's like, oh, the boss is all like, we're gonna get some dinosaur powers, and he's like, hey, there's some 5 teens with attitude, you guys will be the new Kyoryugers. I mean, I know we're still on Earth, and we still have our other Kyoryugers, but you guys have different...
No, we, like, they imply that... See, this is what gets me sequel-wise. Like, they start off with, like, oh, the Kyoryugers saved the day years ago. But now we have this new team. And he's saying that the kid, the Red Ranger, he's like the second coming of Daigo. But wouldn't that mean that Daigo is already dead if he's like the second coming?
Well, he can still be alive. I mean, like...
Could he?
Yeah, it's just like Daigo like at his prime, you know, like when he actually jumps into action and stuff. Like that kind of coming.
I guess, but... See, because I found it weird that, like, they exist in this world where the Kyoryugers happen, but they're not, like, and they say this is the future. And I'm pretty sure they'd still, if they were able to, they'd still try to be active. If Daybos comes again, they would try to fight. And if they're not able to, something is either like keeping that, like nothing would keep them away from fighting Daboss unless they were really old or dead. And if they're not there to save the world, and it did feel like a lot of time had passed by, because like Guntira shows up and Stego Top or something, and they're like, oh hey, they're here, but you don't know them. Who are these people? Unless there's been like tons of time in between, we haven't like established these new dinos, and they come out of nowhere too.
Yeah, we don't have time to actually devote like any arcs to
a sequel show,
to anything.
I mean, I get
this felt more like a spin-off, which
yeah,
I'm kind of like a lot more okay with. This isn't like an actual like. If you're going into this thinking that it's going to be an actual sequel to whatever we had in Kyoryuger, don't kind of like put yourself in that, expectation.
I mean, like, the thing is, I kind of wanted it to at least operate with the same sort of like constraints. Like, oh, this happened before, maybe we could build off of it. Like, all of the new stuff just happens. It doesn't really have any sort of like one line of like, oh hey, this is the evolution of the powers or something, or like we made more. Nothing like that. No one line explanations, and like as a whole, I don't know how much this really fit. I mean, like, no one cares about this except for me because I love Kyoryuger so much. But I don't know how well this even lines up with 100 years after.
I don't consider it to be part of that timeline. Even though, like, at the end of this series, Zyuden does show up to kind of, like, hand the baton over. Kind of randomly.
I mean, like, the... Spoilers for those of you who want to watch it or something. So, at the end... Gold shows up and he's like, hey bro, let's go on an adventure. And he's like, yeah dude, let's do it. And then they suddenly have these Zyuden chargers and put them into their weapons and then use them. And they have created the Zyuders.
Were they like CGI? Or not CGI, but like...
No, Yamato's actor was actually there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just him, right?
Just him.
Okay, that made a lot of sense.
Oh
yeah, let's go just run by the Rangers real quick because
okay.
Let's start entice with Pink. People if anyone wants to watch him. Pink, she's annoyed at her job, and she doesn't really like Pink, so whatever.
We've had that before.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I hate Pink. And yeah, it's fine. It works here.
Yeah, she's like, okay. I guess I'll just shoot people. Yeah. That's basically what she amounts to in this. Green.
Okay, Green.
He's rich.
Yeah.
Spoiled.
And, I mean, like, at least he remains consistent throughout, you know?
Yeah.
I really wish we had just more time, you know? This felt like something that could have gone a little longer.
Yeah,
and I would have liked to see it a bit more drawn out and like explained in universe.
Yeah, and like our character descriptions are really short because they don't have time to actually devote to any plot outside of.
We're
like,
tired. We don't have
one.
time either.
Yeah. Aside from like the main plot, which only affects
red and gold.
Yeah, red and gold, and like to an extent black and blue because they did interact with gold for a bit.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice to have that little like between with them. Like I think Nobu Haru Nosan, he voiced one of them, and I think it was a security guard.
The black one?
Yeah.
He also had like the same fighting style ish.
Yeah, what the hell was with the color swaps and all that? What was the point of switching the dinosaurs around?
kind of assumed they're like all different dinos, so I didn't care because like we don't have Gabutira, we had like Guntira.
Guntira, yeah.
So
no, but we still had Buragigas. But instead of Terra Gordon, we had Terra Volt.
Yeah. So.
And then who else was there? That was it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very confused. Where did these guys come from? Where did this new Denshi come from? I really just want those answers. I don't know where we'd get them. But
yeah, like that's where like this being a sequel does not make much sense.
Yeah.
But it as a spin-off, like, you know, there's like another set of creatures, and that's kind of like isolated from everyone else. Like that I can like handle, and that's kind of what this was. It just like they kind of branded this too much.
Hey, it is a cash grab. That's what it was, and they threw together something okay in terms of supplementary material. I appreciate that, but like, oh hey, Dino Force Brave did really well in Korea. We want to do it again, so give us more footage, and we could reskin the toys and sell them back. So it was really good money, and we like money.
Yeah. Let's see. So Blue and Black.
Yeah.
What was Blue's character?
Blue was he was the pretty boy that was a I don't want to say idol.
He was a model.
Wait.
And then
no. I thought he was part of a boy group.
Probably was, but whatever.
No, he is.
He's still
the character is, yeah.
What else was there?
He's
fine. I remember
like,
when
he was like suddenly he knew how to fight, and that's kind of what bothered me. Like there was no.
Yeah, he was actually one of the more experienced people in that group.
Yeah, and I didn't really understand where that came from.
It's whatever. But one thing that did make me kind of chuckle was when they get their ass handed to them by Kyoryu Gold, who ends up being like a villainish character towards the beginning of the series. They go back to the base and they're like all moping, and Red's all like, "Oh no, we all have like our own strengths, you know, like." Green's a good marksman, and Pink's fast, and you know Black's what? I forgot what he said about Black.
I forget too.
I think he just like ignored
he
Black.
Hesitated.
I don't think he said anything about Black because he wasn't really down in the dumps. But Blue, he was all like, "You're." And then Blue's all like, "I'm elegant." And he's like, He didn't even say anything after that. It didn't really like amount to anything, but I found that kind of funny because it just we got a couple throwaway characters. But let's just move on to like the actual mate of the show. I don't want to say that.
Yes,
but
Canderelia and Lucuro, right?
Oh, unfortunately, our returning characters from the actual Kyoryuger show were amounted to nothing.
Yep.
Even
and then Torin comes back to life.
Torin's just chilling, I guess. No one cares.
Yeah. I care. I care about Torin. What's he been up to? Tell us in the comments down below. What has Torin been up to? But
whatever.
I don't know. He didn't really serve as like a mentor in this either, you know? They kind of just figured it out for themselves.
Yeah, like honestly, they had the villains showing up, and the suit fight, and then maybe some plot, and then Zord fight. There was no room for any of that kind of development. I mean, wasn't. Blue and Black did train Green and Pink for a while.
Yeah.
In the beginning,
like we got little moments, and I feel like in terms of making a good show, character over lore, I think is kind of how I would prioritize things, and they did that. Eh, kind of. Yeah, they did. It's just that, like, they also did build, sort of. They kind of built their own lore instead of building off of pre-existing lore. And this dives into Red and Gold, as like you wanted to get to, but they built up this dinosaur boy narrative.
Yeah,
and
apparently it's passed down. It's like this source of ultimate braveness.
And their use of brave is just as nebulous as their use of brave in Kyoryuger.
I kind of like that though.
It is, yeah, I like it too. It is pretty cool. It's funny.
Yeah. So I think they kind of recycled the plot from Lost Galaxy, the Power Rangers series, where the older brother happens to come back as the 6th Ranger, essentially, only to kick everyone's ass and then slowly get assimilated into the group.
It was actually done pretty well.
Yeah, the pacing for that was actually really well done. And actually liked Gold's character. I mean, he was, your typical kind of like edgy older brother that's like, don't talk to me, It's like, he's busy protecting you and you don't even know how, but he's doing all this stupid shit, but he's protecting you. Don't worry about it.
I was kind of sad that well, I guess it makes sense for the show as a whole, and it's actually better than Kyoryuger, but the end fight, the rest of the team was like, yeah, you go ahead, you go save him alone. And then he's like, oh, really? You'll let me? Yeah, we trust you. Also, we don't want to do any of the work. You go ahead and go up on that ship all by yourself. Try to save your brother.
Yeah, let's add some of that context in there. So the Neo Deadbots are looking for the power of the Dino King, and they thought, which I kind of liked, that their motivation was very freaking simple and easy to pull off.
Yeah.
For a project of this scale, it's only about 6 episodes if you think about it. So they didn't really have to overreach and do something like, oh, we're gonna take over the world in 6 episodes. It's like, no, we're just here to take one dude. Happens to be the Red Ranger. Big
take
whoop.
Powers of the dude.
Yeah. So that we can blow up other planets.
Yeah. You know how, dinosaurs blow planets up? Oh, wait a second.
No, but it's going to make the main
the
dude's,
that...
power level increase 1 billion-fold, because...
Right, yeah, when the tentacles were all in him.
Oh, yeah, and he wasn't really paying attention.
So, how... It wasn't. Gold just shows up and he's like, oh, and waits there for a second, sort of watches it. So... Gee, I wonder if I should stop this from happening. He severs the tie, but it doesn't look like the bad guy actually took any power.
Oh yeah, when he had
little
Brain chained up, just had his little tentacles just sucking up his powers.
Oh, and don't worry, ladies, he definitely gets his shirt ripped off so you can see dem abs.
Yeah, a close up of dem abs. And then, while he was sucking those powers, Gold kind of takes out an enemy right behind him, and then slowly walks over and just cuts the dang tentacles.
Yeah.
And I honestly did not realize that was the big boss dude, because he looked like a prop. And then I was like, oh, that's what he did. I thought he was kind of just chained up to a wall, but it was just the dude just standing there just taking it.
Yeah.
It's like he fell asleep while absorbing the powers. I wouldn't blame him, though.
I do kind of want to touch on the villains, though. Those were pretty neat redesigns and reuses of the old suits. I'm kind of happy that they did that, just to see the suits recontextualized and used in a new way.
Yeah,
because we got the crying guy that turned into a sea guy, like a seafaring sort of dude. And then we got what's his name? Electric. He housed a Gold Ranger at one point, but now he's blue.
yeah. His redesign was actually probably my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, and then for the Zord battles, we got these like humanoid looking robots that came down instead of in the first few episodes, instead of them actually growing.
Yeah, I don't think they really used too much fodder. Oh, okay, they didn't use it a fair bit. I know what I'm talking about. Oh, and the dude's name was Dogold. I just had to Google it real quick.
Right, yeah,
so it's
okay,
bothering me.
Yo, where did these Dayboss people come from?
They were from space, so I just assume they just came from space.
Oh, okay. Alright, whatever.
Yeah. Like, honestly...
Yeah, I mean, they're using the name. It's... whatever.
Yeah, and
at this point. They did tie it back, though, because, like, their first interaction with Luckyro and Canderelia, they were like, "You traitors! You left our team." And then they're like, "Oh, we don't want to be reminded about that." So they did kind of have a nod to it. So it did feel like it's sort of connected, but only vaguely so.
Yeah. But they didn't really have that kind of, like, sequel vibe throughout it. Yeah, because it was just, like, a new team and new people, and...
They added white to an already messy, but still good suit design. I do like the white.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I like it.
Yeah, the suits I personally don't like in comparison to like the old suits, because I feel like the white just adds a bit too much.
I could see that.
Yeah,
but coming off of like Die Ranger, they had sort of like that white base suit, and then like everything else was colored, so it kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I think besides that, all we have is like the flashy stuff. I feel like the fights. I watched the series in 2x speed, so the fights actually look pretty good. When I did slow them down,
the Ranger footage that was all Japan.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But aside from that, the Zord fights, when they went full CGI and they had like giant robots just like wailing on each other, that was freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was incredible. I was blown away when I first saw that. Absolutely blown away.
Yeah, like it happens around episode 4. I will spoil that, but I was kind of like, this is an alright series. It didn't really, it just sets up like the basic villain, beat 'em up, Megazord fight, and then once we get like Kyoryu Gold coming with his Megazord, and you have a Megazord on Megazord fight, and they just do full CG on that.
Yeah. It's so weird seeing those two just go at it at this insane sort of speed, and like, I don't know, it's like they don't have as much weight anymore, but I don't care. Like, they don't have the right amount of heft to their movements.
Yeah, they're not waddling, they're actually running towards each other.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the special effects for like all the finale moves, like the Megazord and even like Kyoryu Gold's, was it like Zonder Thunder?
Was it called Xander Thunder in here? Did he even have Xandar on his sword? Xandar Thunder?
No,
No?
I think that's just the name of the technique.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that's weird. In Dino Charge, they named an entire country Xandar.
Why?
Just to give justification to that name.
Power Rangers are stupid nowadays. But
I thought that was neat. But yeah.
They do some questionable things.
They do. Yeah.
Any other thoughts on the?
Honestly, no. As a quick little like bite-sized Sentai, yeah, it functions pretty well. But as a and we will say this till we die, this does not function as a proper Kyoryuger sequel. If you're going for a Kyoryuger sequel, go for the 100 Years After. It's really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Also, I feel like this series kind of lacks a bit of the heart because, like, even though we did have like snippets of character development, which I did enjoy, it didn't really have like the small plots with like the villains actually doing something kind of stupid.
Oh, like this is different from Kyoryuger, like even tonally. Like it doesn't carry any of the same weight or the same, I guess, feel of Kyoryuger. Like this doesn't feel like Kyoryuger at all.
Yeah.
Is it? I think it does have something to do with how quick it goes, because like the structure is sort of there, but just there's not enough meat to really flesh it out. That metaphor oddly worked out.
Yeah, I personally feel like there was meat. Like the actual plot was there. Like it was a pretty good like red gold arc, but there's like no vegetables. I feel.
I don't know. It just didn't capture the essence of Kyoryuger that I wanted to have again.
Yeah, but
to not bring back Kyoryuger, but bring back like that feeling I had when I watched it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're back. We're really back here.
Yeah.
It was more like, hey, they liked that, and they're gonna try to be it. And it's not as good.
Yeah. This was basically just the Toku formula.
Yeah.
And
if you applied
really,
to a smaller format.
Yeah, if you really like the Toku format, like everything besides like the variation of each episode, then you're probably gonna like the series. If you just want to see some people in tights just fight and stuff, or spandex. If you just want to see people in spandex just find each other and like giant robots beating the shit out of each other, you're gonna love this. If you don't, if you like, if you actually care about the characters a bit, then this isn't gonna be for you probably.
Well, I mean, I cared a little bit. I did like the brotherly.
Okay, yeah, aspect. Red and Gold probably did carry this series. So
yeah, but I mean, like, when do they not? This is actually a pretty good introductory series. If you have a friend that really likes, Korean boy groups, and one of them is in this, because one of them at least is in this, because it's 4 of them from 4 different boy groups. Send it their way and try to recruit another one of us. This could be someone's gateway drug. Who knows? Because like it is bite-sized. It does have it could have that star power that maybe some people will appreciate more than we do. Throw them Dino Force Brave, not Kyoryuger Brave. That might help. I'm not sure. Yeah. I did. Oh, there. What turned me around on the series was they did. It sounds like they brought back the same guy, Ulshade, to do all the sounds of the Gabu Gabu revolver, and that made me very happy.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I mean, that's for the Japanese dubbing, so
yeah,
makes sense.
And I mean, that probably in Korea they probably did that too. Had their original guy, but that's not that bad. But yeah, it was. I don't know. There's something oddly comforting about to hear that voice again with new footage and new Zords. him announcing it brought a sort of validity to it that the story did not.
Yeah, and it was like a more comforting kind of feel, you know?
Yeah. Ullshade's screaming voice is always comforting to my ears. Yeah, are we good here?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. So, guys, if you like this episode, hit that like button. If you want to tell us what you thought about this episode, tell us in the comments down below. We'll probably have a better discussion there, because, boy, oh boy, we're very tired.
Yep.
It is 2:37 a.m., and we're very tired boys. Also, subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week, especially this week, because it's friggin' Go Man Go Toku week, and we are on day 4. Tomorrow is day 5, and that's, you can do math, you can do it yourself. But tomorrow we will be covering Space Squad Episode 0, Girls in Trouble. We have thoughts on that movie and the movie that's after that, so friggin' come back tomorrow and watch it. Also, links in the description, Discord chat, all that stuff. Dingle or dongle. See ya.
Bye.